Boom, boom. This is Ken, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a Solan Reloaded up today, so we got our new character drop. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So we have got LingLing. As you can see, we're using our new quality of life updates. So now have some banners, which was interesting. So let's. I've already taken a look. We got the login freebies. Not impressed with these. This is the 4-set chest. I would like to see an 8-set chest here. This is not the high level chest. I want the chest that's got Woo, and I want the chest that's got Sea God Tank Sand in it. This doesn't. Still being a little bit stingy with that, which is causing problems, but we'll have to talk about that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. The time limit pack, of course, if you want to spend a little ka-ching, for $99, you can actually get 100 shards for her, so you can pretty much get her up to set of it. $10, there's the shard, that's the chest we're looking for. Unfortunately, it's under these. Soul Master sale, of course, time limited sale, of course, always got some interesting stuff in there that you want to look at. And here we go. So you can get 50 shards for her. We'll go over her skill set in a few minutes. You get a 50 for this is why I said that you might want to go ahead and focus on Evil Eye. They're being very generous with shards for him. So he's definitely something that is worth building and maxing out. Simply because of the fact that he's super powerful. Okay. And then, of course, the good shard, good chest that we're looking for with the shards for Sea God, Tank, Sand, and Woo. New players, you might want to take into account how fast you can get divine skills. Divine skills are what make your character powerful. If you start maxing out your divine skills, you'll find that you will not need a healer. Survivability comes with that. Survivability, shields, hit points, there's all kinds of buffs that you get once you start getting up in your high level divine skills. There's really no need to actually use a healer if you've got your divine skills maxed out. So those are some of the things that you want to focus on. Maxing out your divine skills and maxing out your soul bones, you'll find out that you won't need a healer. I'm not using a healer right now, and my damage has increased exponentially. So keep that in mind. So basic set, and of course normal mode. With the new setup that they've got inside of one-click sweep, I mean, you should be able to do 100 in literally 10 seconds. And that's all you need to do to get that. So make sure that you do that. That'll give you the 40, which 50, 40, 90 shards as always. And then 2 more events will give us the remaining shards to actually summon the character. In approximately 6 weeks' time, we'll have her summon her. I'm not going to build her. The skill set it's an excellent skill set. If you need a healer, you definitely want to consider doing her, okay? Because she is based on the skill set, she's pretty much probably the best in the game. But you got to understand something that she doesn't do any attack really. She does have one skill that does some attack crease, and there's an attack speed, but it's not really enough to take out an attacker. Who's going to do, especially in my case, it would be Sea God Tank Sand, who's OP when it comes. So stores hit points, 400% of attack to all allies. Okay, which gives you this buff, which is gain a shield 3 times maximum hit points and increases attack speed. Okay, so that's a good skill, solid skill. You know, a little bit of an attack, but not really much. It increases maximum hit points. Understand that this is a fusion skill, so it's a little difficult. Increases maximum hit point of the entire team by 50%, reduces damage taken by 25. Okay. Maximum hit point increase, always good for survivability. Restores hit points equivalent to 600% and adds a shield. So now we've got a healing, more hit points, and a shield. Okay, and then we've got every 5 restores hit points equivalent to 400 attack with 2 allies with lowest hit. So we got a targeted heal. So as you can see, we're really not getting much in terms of damage. She's a healer, straight line healer. Okay, so you have to understand if you put her in your team, your survivability is going to go up. But your damage is going to go down because you're going to have to replace one of your attackers with a healer, or a tank with the healer, which you don't want to do because tanks do taunt and keep them off of your other players. And Ren is the best for that right now. So just to give you an example, so let's see. I don't think this is open yet. Yeah, it should be open. Okay, so this is the standard setup that I use for my attack. Okay, so as you can see, I have Evil Eye in there. Sup, I'm coming off of healer. This is wrong. So she's doing some healing for me with her support skill. And then I've got Rakasha BB Dong. And then third, I've got Wu. Okay. Divine tools using the best ones that I've got. So, so I don't have a healer in the main set of the team. So if you watch the actual, I'm just going to let it run on auto. You see, he immediately applies his shield. Okay, damage immediately starts being taken, but as you can see, they're healing themselves. Especially Rin. Rin has several skills which heal herself. That's why she's a tank. Um, and keeping everybody, keeping main, but he's doing the AoE damage, so everybody's going to be taking damage. But as you can see, I'm not doing anything. I'm standing right in the actual lane where you can actually, if you're having survivability trouble, you can just move your characters up into different parts of the lane. I'm not going to do that because I want to show you how the survivability works. As you can see, Evil Eye's still got his shield applied. I've never seen this shield go away. I think I'm not exactly sure what level, but once you get his levels up to 105, where I've got him to, the skill procs almost constantly, so he's never in loss of it. Okay. And as you can see, this Sea God is the weakest character on the screen. He's an AoE, so you might want to keep an eye on him to make sure he's not standing inside of a skill that would do damage to him and might kill him. But even then, it's not doing it. So he's surviving through it. And as you can see, Rin's healing herself. None of the others are really taking damage. Now here he's going to hit Sea God. See? But look. Okay, he's healing himself. So when you get to certain levels, it's really not really not necessary to have a healer in the team. Okay, I've got wrong coming off. See now the screen's set up with fire. It's still not having any trouble in terms of damage. It's really not affecting me that much at all. And this is pretty much what happens. The only time I ever really have trouble, sometimes inside of the actual Soul Pagoda, which I'll show you that after we're done here. He does sometimes die inside of that. Okay, then everybody dies because it's ending. As you can see, 1752 trillion in terms of damage. That's roughly, with wrong in there. With taking her out and putting in, I roughly saw a more than double the damage. Okay, so as you can see, survivability is not an issue. You don't, when you get to certain levels with high soul bones, especially divine skills, there's a lot of survivability built into divine skills. So survivability is not an issue. Once you get to a certain level with your divine skills and with your soul bones, but before that, you do need a healer. So you might as well go ahead and get LingLing since she's a triple S and she's there. Understand that Yen would probably be the best one to build. Yes, I know she's SS, but the fact of the matter is we're not getting the shards that we would want to do for wrong. Okay? That's what you want to look for. These are the events that come out. If you look at the sale, your freebies, she's not in here. Wrong is not in here. This is the common freebie chest, and as you can see, it's got, but it's not. But if you look at the freebie chest for the S, there is Yen. So you're probably going to be able to max out Yen's divine skills before you can max out wrong. Is the difference between wrong and Yen that much? No. Yen is an excellent healer. Your survivability, you will survive fine with her. A healer's not that important in PvP content, of course. PvP, completely different setup there. The better the healer, the probability that you're going to survive for more. But understand that in PvP, sometimes the healer's taken out almost instantaneously. So again, but I'm not looking at PvP. There's no way I can compete in the upper levels of PvP because I'm not a whale spending thousands of dollars to max out all of the skills, get all the outfits and all the skins and whatnot. Don't have the capability to do that at this particular time. So this is going to be something that you can max out free to play, and she'll supply you with healing until you need until you get to the point where you've got divine skills on your other characters and household ones, and you don't need a healer. Go ahead and get LingLing. You're gonna get her free. She's free to play. You can get her. There's not a problem with that. You get 90 today. Okay, 40 from normal mode, 50 from the Soulmaster sale. That's 90. In a couple weeks, they'll give us some more, and in a couple weeks after that, they'll give us the rest, and you'll be able to summon her up. But of course, you're not going to be able to do divine skills that fast. So, but go ahead and get her. Just and if you wanted to start working on her, go for it. But as you just seen, you really don't need a healer. Probably one of the, if not the toughest actual and an excellent way to gauge is the Soul Ascension platform. I could not get past 13.2 when I had Wrong in my team. Once I took out Wrong and put Evil Eye in, that was about I think it was about 2 weeks ago. I'm already at 13.9. I mean, I couldn't get past 13.2 with Wrong. But the minute I took her out, I shot up to 13.6, and then over the course of the next every 3 or 4 days, I was getting another one. I'm up to 13.9. I'll go ahead and do this. We'll probably lose Tang San inside of this, most likely, simply because of the fact that sometimes the enemy will send out one of his little turtles or lizards or whatever they're called, and it'll have the character's avatar on it, and they go straight to that character and they do a whole bunch of damage. Unfortunately, you can't stop. There's so much going on the screen, it's exceedingly difficult to stop that particular enemy. Okay, so and if it targets any others, as you can see, they're fine. There's a lot of damage being done right now on the screen. As you can see, everybody's taking damage, but they're healing themselves. Even Tang San is. But if he gets an enemy that's got his name on it, so to speak, that's actually true. And see, he got hit. Okay, so there's no way to prevent that from happening. But still, he was in there long enough that he did a bunch of damage before he got taken out. Wrong would still be alive, maybe, but she gets taken out pretty quick in this too. But she would be healing people who don't need healing, and because she doesn't do any damage, she really doesn't serve any purpose. But as you can see, the other three are tagging it just fine. So this is max damage at this particular point. These characters are taking maximum amount of damage, and they're surviving on their own without a healer. So when you get to a certain level, you just don't need a healer. Okay? You just don't. So keep this in mind. That's the proof in the pudding right there. Once I get Sea God Tang San's skills up, his divine skill, I'll probably be able to survive with him as well too. Okay, it's just not that. I'll beat this in a couple of, probably in Friday or Saturday. I'll probably go up to 13. I'll beat 13.9, and in a week or two I'll be hovering into 14, which is where I want to go. But as you can see, you don't really need that's that. I consider this to be max damage. You should do this until you die. Okay, and that indicates to me, and as you can see how much damage I was taking, that's pretty much about as bad as it gets. And as you can see, survivability wasn't that much of an issue. So once you get up, but that's you got to build up your divine skills, and you got to build up your armor sets and whatnot, or that's not going to be that. So you do need a healer. Don't take it into account. Don't start a team with a tank and 3 attackers early in the game and expect to survive. You're not. You got to build up your armor, build up your soul mode, build up your divine skills. Once you've got those built up and you've maxed out the character and their skill set, you'll be fine. But that takes a while to do. I've been playing since inception of the game, so I've been playing it since it started, which is why I have all the characters and stuff. So, so keep that in mind. So a good choice for maxing out a team fairly quickly from an SS Plus perspective. Keep in mind that it's probably not going to be. I just use this as a gauge. Okay, this is login freebies. Okay, this is what you get. You just get this for logging in. So you're going to get 20 shards, but as you can see, that's why I've got Clear Sky and Brent in my team, is because I knew I could max them out. They are currently maxed. I'm now working on Bo. I'm not going to move Bo in and replace her with Tang San. Tang San's OP in terms of his damage. Even if he only stays in for half or three-quarters of the battle, I'm still getting a buttload of damage from him. So I'm not going to replace him. I'm not going to replace Ren, of course, because she's just the best tank there is. She heals herself and she taunts, so she keeps people off of my other players. And that's what's the thing about the Soul Ascension. You got enemies coming from all over the place. That enemy that gets that avatar that it's supposed to attack ignores a taunt, so there's no way to stop it. It goes straight to it. The only way to do it is to literally, 9 times out of 10, it was wrong that was getting targeted. So I was spending a lot of time just running her across the screen. I'd literally put her on the other side. She'd run over to the other side. It would follow me. Once it got close, I'd move back to the other side. So I was spending all of my time running from the freaking turtle that had her avatar on it, doing no damage and doing no healing. And I noticed that even though she wasn't healing, because she was running all over the screen, that my characters weren't dying. So I said, well, okay, if it's apparently not necessary for her to be in, that's when I got the idea to max out Evil Eye and put him in and see what happened. And that's what happened. So just understand that if in the Soul Ascension, if you're one of your team gets targeted by the enemy with the little avatar, there's no way to get there, and it will kill you if it gets you, because it does. I don't know if it just gets there and then explodes or what, but it just does instant damage, and it's a one shot. Even on some of the higher levels, I've seen it happen before on some of the on other than the healer, and they've almost died too. So there's really not a whole lot you can do. So, but that's what makes it fun. It's an interesting little thing. But yeah, I'm a lot higher now. But keep this in mind when you're building your team. You'll be able to max out these SS plus characters a lot faster than you will the other ones. Now we do have the good stuff. As you know, the good stuff is in the Soul Master sale. Evil Eye, see, max him out. They're giving you shards for him. They're quite generous. You can get 1 free a day. Not to mention the fact that I have actually seen him inside of some of the shops and whatnot. For those of you asking the question how I get so many shards, it's woo. I do woo each day. Okay. So you're going to get, when you do your day each day, when you should have woo set up. Take time to set it up. See, you get all these shards, and I didn't have to do anything. Okay, if you're doing this on a daily basis, you're going to get it. Almost, you should have your daily set up so that all of your dailies are run. I run this instantly when I log on, so you get all, it does the good stuff. You get good stuff from that. Look at that. I got a diamond mammoth shard. So I didn't have to do anything to do it, simply because the fact that I let this do that for me. So I only have to spend like an hour, hour and a half max to do everything in the game, not just my dailies, to do everything. Because this does a lot of what it does for you, and you always get the rewards. You see, bunches of chests, 1,004. You see, yeah, I could get all this stuff, but I'd have to do it. I'd have to do it myself, and it would take a lot of time. See, just make sure you get your Doomstones, you get your 22 shards. These are the two, plus SS plus shards. This is a standard. You get this standard when you run that. If you max out the sort, you get that from there. Sect, it does your sect stuff for you. It does your quiz. It does your the only thing you have to do is go set up the actual bounties type setup that they have. I'll show you it here in a second. But yeah, so make sure this is set up. Run this each day. Okay, this is going to take care of a lot of the stuff for you, saving you have to do it, so you don't have to spend 3 hours doing all this stuff. You can nearly cut your time in half. Okay, so that's how I get my shards. I'll run this shop again in the evening. Okay, plus there's when you go around doing everything, I have to go around and do singles on some of this stuff and run through my shops and whatnot. Battle pass and all that stuff. You want to focus on that stuff from a singular perspective. Okay, but that's the basis for how you do it. That's how I get all of my shards. Now, so yeah, I think we need to really. LingLing, she's a good healer, excellent healer, probably the best in the game. But you can probably get if you're looking to max out a team, you can probably get. I just don't think in terms of a healer, this does not apply to attackers at all. Evil Eye is overpowered. He is the most powerful attacker in the game right now. He's a triple S character. So this does not apply to him. But from a healing perspective, it's not something that you really need as you get later in the game. So you need to take that into perspective. Do you want to spend your time building up a healer that in closer to end game is not going to be very important, or do you want to focus it on a character that is really important that you can max out? So if you do IEN, you can get her, max her out fast, max out her divine skills, use her as your healer. She'll serve you well. Your survivability will increase drastically. And then when you get to the point where you just don't really need it because you've got max soul bones, you got max divine skills, the character's max leveled, he's got all of his skills maxed out. By that time, you're getting buffs from so much stuff that you can survive on your own without a healer, as you just saw in those several instances that I showed you. So you might want to focus instead on just getting an IEN, build her up. Wrong would be nice, but again, she's in the 8 chest. They're not being very generous with the 8 chest. If they throw the 8 chest into the login freebie, then yeah, you definitely want to go for wrong. If this was an 8 chest, I would say build, if you're a newer player, and you're just start, and this was an 8 chest, let's be honest, the best team from an SS Plus perspective is Seaguy Tank San, Wu, SS Plus Wu, Angel Ren, okay, and a healer. Wrong. That is the best team for newer players, mid-level players. Okay. Now, when you get up to higher levels, you just want to take out wrong and put in another attacker. You can use Tang Chen, you can use Clear Sky, you can use whoever you want. Okay. But that's the best, that's the most powerful characters from the SS Plus standpoint. But they're not giving us the chest that allows us to focus on those. This is clearly visible when you look at my Soul Masters. On who? Maxed out. Clear Sky, Angel Red are maxed out with their divine skills. That's what God 5, okay? He's God 2 because I'm not getting a lot of shards for him. They're very stingy with that 8. He's in the 8 choice SS Plus chest. They don't give it to you very often. I'm going to have him maxed out probably before I have him maxed out. I can actually get just as many, if not more, shards for him that I can for him. Okay, so hopefully that will change once they start introducing more triple S. I assume we'll start seeing that 8 choice shard chest become standard fare. Then that will of course change, and we'll be able to max him out a lot faster. But for right now, so as you can see, I have Wu. She's in my first support skill, and then I got Wrong and BB Dong. These are the ones that I use coming off support. Okay. Sometimes I like throwing Rakasha in there. She does some good, but Bo's an option as well. She's a little bit easier to build than of course BB Dong, because BB Dong's in the 8 choice chest as well too. So she's probably what you might want to use. You can get her a lot faster. As you can see, I'm guide 3 on her. She'll be maxed out before these others will. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're building a team. She's a good character. I just wanted to have a little bit more directed damage. She does a lot of AoE. It's not really useful in some aspects of the game. It's good in Soul Ascension because there's enemies all over the place. So an AoE on the screen is going to hit something. Unfortunately, when you're fighting in the tree, it's really not that useful because it's just wasteful. I wanted more targeted damage, as most of the things come for that. It's well on the sec boss. It's target damage. So that's why I don't focus on. But if I max out her divine skills, she becomes more powerful. I'll put her in here and replace her with BB Dong. So that's very close to happening. I'll probably do the switch sometime once I get her to God 4. I'll probably just go ahead and roll her out, put what's on her, and move her into that slot, and then I'll have those 3. But for the time being, unless we get that 8 choice SS Plus shard, then I'll start being able to build up BB Dong. But Wu is the next one. After I get Sea God Tank Sin, I'm going to focus on Wu from an SS Plus perspective. But you definitely want to put him in there. The shards are generous for him, but he doesn't need it. He survives right now by himself, um, as you can see, as I showed you. So you just have to, do what you want to do at this particular point. But I don't really think once you get up higher levels, you don't need a healer. So LingLing might not be what you want to do. Okay, just from my perspective. All right, that's what I got. So good skill set, excellent healer, but do you really need a healer when you're maxing out your skills, divine skills, and soul bones? It doesn't seem so. All right, so thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe. Once you've subscribed, you'll see the bell. Click on it. You'll get notified each time we drop a video. Like and share the video as well. That will help out the channel immensely. Kenrir, coming at you from the corner, signing out.